Welcome mates, I'm Bloodthirsty Lord, but you can call me Lordy, and today we're back on Fortnite Battle Royale, and today's video is going to be based on the news on the latest update of Battle Royale, which is version 1.9. It came with like a legendary jump pad, pretty much epic version, but it's so legendary when you use it, and followed up by a new weapon that will be coming soon to the game. So it's getting hyped in here mates, and we've got some notes about it, and pretty much patch notes on some of the changes that happened in the Battle Royale side, and we're going to talk about them within this video. But before we get to this video, make sure you smash that like button. Let's try to get 200 likes on this video. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. So let's see what Epic Games and the Fortnite team have to say about this. Numerous gameplay, controller sensitivity, and performance improvements are airdropped into Fortnite Battle Royale. And also there's some changes in the Save the World event as well. Battle Royale launch pads. Prepare your gliders. The launch pad trap flings players high into the air and lets you redeploy your glider mid-match. Traverse the battlefield in style as you soar over any obstacle in your path and surprise your enemies with the aerial assault. Once deployed, the launch pad can be triggered by any player and has unlimited uses. It cannot be picked up or back up when placed. It can be destroyed like any other trap in the game. So that's pretty much the idea of the launch pads in Battle Royale, and that's pretty clean mates. Hopefully there's some footage in the background showcasing that, because I used it in my own gameplay earlier today and it was pretty insane. Pretty much you place a floor, then you place the launch pad on the floor, then you jump off it, and you pretty much able to glide anywhere, and I saw enemy as I pretty much jumped off, and then I just went down towards him and shotgun him to death. It's such a great feeling when pulling off plays like that. It's very fast and you feel legendary when using it. That's what felt so good about this item. And you can find this item in chest, in supply drops, and also around the map. It's just like any other epic loot. You can find it around the map, pick it up, and use it to help yourself win the game. It's really fun. And before we move on to the numbers and the changes and the bug fixes and all that juicy information, there was also a little bit of extra information if you did load into the game. And pretty much when you launch version 1.9 Fortnite Battle Royale, you'll be able to see this page that will come up right now on your screen, and it showcases the launch pad, which we already talked about, and also a new weapon coming to the game, and that is the silenced SMG. And you can see the weapon right there on your screen. It looks amazing. You can see the silencer, see that blacked out camo, looking all stealth-like, and there was also the description in that actual weapon, and it did say this: take down your enemies quickly and quietly from close to medium range with the new silenced SMG, dropping to Battle Royale next week. So that's the release date of this new weapon. So the next patch, version 2, or whenever the patch is called, and whenever it comes out, most likely we're going to talk about on the channel, this silenced SMG will be released into the game, providing people with some stealth mechanics in the game, because we have no weapon in this game that has a silencer on it or provides stealth mechanics. So by having this weapon added into the game, followed by launch pads being released earlier, it's going to provide some very interesting combos. Imagine someone jumping off the launch pad, then using the silenced SMG when they get down behind an enemy to kill them as quick and silently as possible. That's me kind of crazy. I'm hoping the silenced SMG isn't just like the normal SMG and it kind of feels kind of weak. I'm hoping it's got some type of rhythm to it that makes it feel like it does damage and it's still powerful, because usually in any game, when there's a silencer on top of the weapon, the damage output is usually lower. So I'm hoping it doesn't take a whole clip just to kill one enemy, or if it doesn't take 2 whole clips to kill one enemy. I'm hoping that's not the case, because obviously SMG is close to medium range. That's how it's always been, and that's in every game, in every Battle Royale game. SMGs are always in that distance and that range when doing their damage output. Obviously the closer the better, and I'm hoping that's the case with the silenced SMG. Now let's move on to the weapon changes. Default controller sensitivity settings have been adjusted. In previous updates, scope sensitivity was too slow, even at the highest settings. This has been improved in version 1.9 to allow for a wider sensitivity range. Controller sensitivity settings have been adjusted to range from 1 through 10 instead of 0, 0, through 1. Sensitivities may feel different with this update. As much as we didn't want to change your preferred settings, it was necessary in order to improve the scope sensitivity issue that many players have reported. A new reset to default option has been added to the game menu. Firing, jumping, reloading, etc. will no longer cancel targeting mode. So that's kind of great, so when you aim into your gun, it won't be affected. And now let's move on to the gameplay changes. Introducing per playlist loot. Dual playlist medium ammo stack increased from 10 to 14. Squad playlist medium ammo stack increased from 10 to 18. This adjustment only applies to ammo found in ammo cans, treasure chests, and supply drops. Eventually, this will be increased in floor loot as well. Movement speed is reduced by 20% when swinging a harvesting tool, and that is very noticeable. When you end up trying to pickaxe someone to death, it's going to be kind of hard, because you're going to get slowed every time you try to do that, and you won't be able to close that gap between you and that opponent that you're trying to kill with it. So make sure when you swing that harvesting tool, you really got to close them in and pretty much destroy them like that. So be careful when you use that. It's now possible to build in many grass-covered areas that previously would not allow. Yes, that is still a problem in some other areas that are still affected by that. Players can now build inside of shallow bodies of water such as Loot Lake. Yes, I've seen that fix. Consumables will now approximately fill to max item limit when picking up stacks of the same item. Supply drop health bar has been tweaked to reduce screen clutter. Now let's move on to the bug fixes. Players who are in the down but not out state no longer pick up resources and ammo automatically. Fix the issue which caused DBNO players, pretty much meaning down but not out players, to be eliminated if another teammate leaves the match even though another teammate is still alive. You can now no longer revive DBNO players through closed doors. Fix the bug which caused all hit effects to appear on the central point of a player. You can now open and close doors while in build mode. Players will no longer switch building pieces if they change material while targeting a structure. That's with the Combat Pro controller configuration. You will no longer automatically pick up resources if you reach the maximum limit of that type. Damage numbers no longer overlap when damaging an enemy with a sniper rifle. Clarify messaging notification that appears when a player is unable to loot during the reload animation. So those are the bug fixes they had within this patch. Pretty good, obviously leading to less bug fixes, meaning the game will get better and feel better when you're playing it, so there's none of that cheese that happens out of nowhere and you get killed because of one of these bug fixes, or you can't revive one of your teammates, or someone's trying to revive their teammate through objects. That's kind of annoying. But obviously within this patch, those bug fixes have been fixed. And now let's move on to the performance side. Loading times have been improved. Optimize visibility checks for objects to improve overall frame rate, improve performance when rendering shadows, reduce lag spikes caused by server hitches, reduce in-game hitches by preloading additional assets in the matchmaking lobby instead of mid-match, fix the issue that could cause the server to stall temporarily, resulting in rubber banding. And obviously mates, a lot of you guys have already experienced these little changes that are happening in the game if you've been playing version 1.9, so that's great. Obviously before it was kind of worse, and obviously it's getting better and better every time. Now let's move on to the spectating changes, and that is storm effects are now visible while spectating a player that is outside the safe zone. UI changes, obviously bug fixes as well there. The correct item slot will now be highlighted when switching between separate stacks or grenades. Adjust the leaderboard page so the countdown timer is no longer clipping into the leaderboard. Fix the bug that resulted in single consumed shield pots visually appearing as 100 points of shield. The inventory menu no longer opens automatically when accessing the trap menu. The Combat Pro controller configuration icons are now displayed correctly on the Combat Quick bar. It is no longer possible to cancel matchmaking while trying to close the news window. Upon leaving a match, the pop-up message no longer states return to home base. The a problem occurred message will no longer pop up after each match has ended. Fix the issue which caused voice chat settings to not save properly. The revive icon no longer turns red when another teammate is knocked into the DBNO state. Move the FPS display off the minimap when the show FPS option is enabled on PC or Mac. The code of conduct button now links to the appropriate localized version of the COC, code of conduct. Some of the world changes are trees are now animated on PS4 and Xbox One. Add stairs to the Tomato Town tunnel that leads up to the top of the hill. Swapped a few small shacks out for larger ruined houses on the west side of the island. Adjust the cliff near the risky river bridge. We wanted to incentivize players to use the bridge a bit more. So pretty much those are some of the changes that you will see in the world of Battle Royale in Fortnite. And they're pretty cool because obviously it provides some new tactics, new entrances to places, new loot locations. It's really fun. So I like the changes. Bug fixes, you can no longer break the boats in Loot Lake by building on top of them. Breaking these boats would cause the treasure chest in them to be destroyed. Fix various LOD issues. Patched up a few terrain seams. Removed indestructibility of some objects. Added collision to a number of objects. Audio changes, added 2D hit sound effects for shield, body, and head bullet impacts. Added sound effects when highlighting blocker items in the menu. Lowered the volume of DBNO players, allowed by a small amount. Bug fixes, fixed issue which caused audio to occasionally cut out upon death. Pretty much when someone killed you, you wouldn't hear the final shot even going off. Fixed the issue which caused bush audio to play randomly, and pretty much when you're ever in a building, anywhere on the map, you will be able to hear this audio, and pretty much throws you off guard in your own gameplay. The friends only voice chat option now works as intended in Xbox One. Footsteps sound no longer trigger after the player stops moving. The victory screen sound is now tied to the sound effect volume slider instead of the music volume slider. Fixed an issue that would cause the DBNO alert to play when reviving squad mates. Some general changes, non-English keyboard keys can now be bounded to inputs. Fixed a couple of rare crashes. So those are all the changes. That was a lot of changes. Obviously bug fixes in every department, from world, audio, performances, and pretty much general changes. Those are all bug fixes in there, so that is why we had to go bug fixes here and there. But it's really great to see these changes because it provides clarity towards the system, and it's like little subtle changes that build up to be something great in your own gameplay. And obviously these changes are amazing. The big ones, the major ones: launchpad, new silence. It's SMG coming out, and also the terrain or the world map being changed in certain degrees. It just makes it more fun and more interesting when playing in the world of Fortnite Battle Royale. But mates, as always, tell me your opinions and thoughts in the comment section down below. Did you like this patch? Do you hate this patch? And what is the best factor of this patch? Because the launch pads are pretty sick, and obviously next patch, Silence SMG, something to be hyped about indeed. Tell me your opinions and thoughts in the comment section down below. So mates, if you did enjoy this video, show your support by smashing that below like button. Let's try to get 200 likes on this video. If you guys want to see more Fortnite Battle Royale gaming content and gaming content in general on my channel, all you have to do is share this with your friends and hit the subscribe button to become a mate today. That is all for this video. Oh, time to go, but don't you worry. Back very soon. See you boys, who's ain't seen nothing yet. Mates, when you use the launch pad for your first time, you enter this like high beast mode. It's amazing, and it's just one epic moment. And I can't wait to get some amazing clips with the jump pad very soon on the channel. Expect it soon, mates. I'm gonna work so hard for it.